So David, I was reflecting on our partnership where we've been invested in ForWinds now for a little over 3 years. And I feel like every year has been a new chapter in our journey of where, the first year we were focused on growing the digital signage portion of the business. The second year we got hit with COVID and kind of pivoted to deal with that. And the third year has been really kind of leaning forward with 2 pretty transformational acquisitions. So maybe go to the middle one and maybe take us back to March of 2020 when COVID initially hit. What was going through your mind as you saw offices starting to shut down and people working from home?
Yeah, March of 2020. I don't think I realized the extent of it, of what was coming at that time. And I think it was hard for a lot of people to realize the extent. And for me, it was probably even harder because, as you know, I'm a pretty optimistic person. And I remember I had our team put together a return to office plan for late summer 2020. So clearly that didn't happen. And my mindset changed as time went on. At the beginning, our software was a critical communication channel for our customers. There's hundreds of thousands of screens out there. They're in hotels, they're in hospitals, they're on college campuses and corporate campuses. And customers who had our product could instantly change messaging to communicate what was going on, and there was a lot going on at that time. And then, of course, what people were communicating was go home and stay home. And I knew that was going to be rocky for us because we communicate information to people in venues, and it was. And while bookings growth slowed, recurring revenue grew in 2020. So it was a rocky time, but we got through it.
It's incredible to think when we originally developed our thesis around the digital signage market, it was really that there was going to be a lot of use cases for these screens of where, the cost of each device was coming down, the amount of content people wanted to deliver across these devices was increasing, really driving the need for an enterprise software use case. And as we talked to a number of executives and customers in the industry, everything kept coming back to ForWinds, right, as being the undisputed kind of leader in the market. And I still have the email I sent you in October 2016, reaching out to set up a conversation. And ever since that first call that we had, we were just really impressed with what you had built, the team and product, as well as a vision that you had for the industry. Do you mind taking us back and just talking through how you founded the business and eventually thought about raising capital?
To your question about how I thought about raising capital, at the heart of it, we could do something smaller, we could do something bigger. And I felt like, let's do something bigger and different. And I wanted inorganic growth and the ability to expand our product portfolio to be part of our growth options. And clearly, Vista had a great platform for M&A. And then I also think just getting to know the Vista team over a 3-year period really helped us feel comfortable in making that bigger move. And I'm glad we did it.
Yeah. And M&A was always part of the dialogue. Even before we invested, I remember we were sending you M&A ideas in 2016 and 2017. And it's interesting how the thesis evolved, right? I think in those early days, we were really talking about consolidating the digital signage market. But that thesis really pivoted towards a broader, really employee communications-oriented thesis. Do you mind talking a little bit about that?
Sure. So post-investment, we started doing segmentation work. And we had an aha early, which was the internal use cases for digital signage was just as big as external use cases like retail. And there were really 2 areas within corporate that were, that our solution, that our product was a part of. One was digital workplace. Overall, making offices easier to use, easier to book conference rooms, just a better experience. And the other was, of course, about communications and engaging employees with great employee communications. And so, we made 2 acquisitions that extended our solution in those categories. So the first was SmartSpace. It was a small tuck-in acquisition. It was just doing $1 million of ARR when we bought it, but had a really solid product around hot desking and hoteling and wayfinding and a mobile device that gave us another channel. So we bought that. They also had some great enterprise customers, and then Popula was the big one. And Popula was employee communications across the email and mobile channels, and now it allowed us to be multi-channel or omni-channel for those customers.
That's great, and congrats on getting those 2 deals done in a kind of a 12-month time frame. As you think about those 2 deals, one dynamic you did mention was, SmartSpace was a carve out of a UK-based public company, and Populo is actually headquartered in Ireland. Maybe talk a little bit about trying to do international acquisitions during COVID, where all of the sourcing and kind of relationship building we were doing over Zoom.
Yeah, it was tough, but at that point, I think remote just felt so normal, and we had started a conversation with the Populo team 6 months prior, and it was about doing some product integration so that customers could leverage both of our products before we were even one company, and that started the relationship. And then I dropped a hint, to the CEO that if he was ever interested in selling, I thought we'd be interested. And lo and behold, December of last year, I got a text, and he said, "Hey, we're interested. We're going to run a quick process, and if you're still interested, we'd like you to be a part of it." And so I felt like we had a little bit of a head start, even though they had a competitor that was interested in buying them too, and we were probably actually in second position, but I feel like that relationship helped us. And then once we got it and we integrated, we used our product to increase communications across the whole company, and still produce videos weekly that we send to everyone. And of course now it's great to have in-person be an option as we accelerate the integration.
Yeah, no, definitely. And I remember during the course of 2020, as you talked about kind of bookings growth decelerated, that was a challenging kind of year, for the business. But things have really accelerated now in 2021. And I'd say the board meeting last quarter was really fun, just given all the proof points that you're seeing.